There are certain words that, as a man, you feel like you are not allowed to say those words without becoming less of a man. And a lot of them really aren't even that bad. I'll give you a couple examples. Here's a good one, yay. Does it feel okay to you or right in any sense for a guy to say yay? Or another example, calling something fabulous. Like if a straight dude uses either of those words, they are probably getting that identity called into question. Or at least 10 years ago, they certainly would be. And those words are very valid in plenty of scenarios, and there's nothing about them that should make you feel like less of a man. But it feels extremely awkward to really go out and utter either of those, or just like these types of words. And there's some concepts, some ideas, and definitely some phrases and words you feel like you have to avoid, or as a guy, it's just hard to let them come out without you feeling like less of a man. And I personally, in these scenarios, will usually still let the phrase rip when I find it appropriate, but I'm also probably going to acknowledge that it feels like I am doing something that as a man feels unnatural. Like I was at a restaurant with some of my cousins and they wanted me to order a drink so they could try it, and it was an extremely girly, just absurdly named drink. And it's something where like to order the drink you have to be like, can I have a Bahama Mama Breeze, yes please? Which, like, to utter one of those just ridiculously named menu items, you feel like a part of you dies. And I feel like that's the same effect with a lot of these words that you feel like you can't say as a man. And so what I want to call this phenomena is mansorship, which of course is man censorship. And it's not something that's really getting pushed onto you too often. It's just kind of a feeling that you have deep inside. And realistically, a lot of it's probably deeply rooted in homophobia, that it's hard to really exude anything like flamboyant or not traditionally masculine for a lot of guys. And I'm sure that's where a lot of it stems from, and we're kind of going away from that direction in general as a society. Being shamed for being gay or anything like that was still extremely common. So I'd say that's still a part of people that are my age and definitely older. I'm curious how much of that remains with people like younger than me, and if this is something that would stick around for a very long time. But of course you can say whatever you want, but there's some things that you feel like, oh, I gotta hold this one back. People can't know this one. Or at least once I say that this is how I feel like my man stock takes a serious dive. And I'd love to hear if you have some good examples of like things that are said that like instantly will make someone feel like less of a man, and is something that they feel like they have to wipe out of their vocabulary because it just doesn't seem to fit for a guy. Because yeah, it's not something that really should happen with language, where you feel like you can only use certain words being a certain person, but it just kind of ends up being that way. So if you have any good examples, I'd be curious to hear. But that's going to do it for this Daily Do. Let's head on to our comment of the day. Comment of the day comes from JWF_BM. I think that this is Jack, who just said, tree the cunts. And those words did combine to make my word change for yesterday of country, but I don't really get what he's going after, and just kind of an odd comment. Don't know if it was anything too amazing, but thanks for being there. We're going to give you a 38 out of 72, giving you some bonus points for being in all caps, showing some enthusiasm. Now for Song of the Day. Song of the Day is Amigos by Gavin in X Games. Heard this one a lot yesterday, and I was also with Gavin a lot, so gonna give him some more shout on this one. This is his Spanish song. Actually really like this one. It's very silly and just absurd all the way through, but really fun to listen to, and I like it. Then for the video of the day, we're going with a YouTube classic, a song that I loved for a very long time, The Ultimate Showdown, which I just kind of think about, like, how did this video come to be made, and like, what is the origin of this thing? Seems very confusing and out of nowhere to me, so that would be interesting to know. But definitely just a question I don't have the answer to right now. Anyway, that's going to do it for the Daily Do. Peace. Ooh.